We just finished the meet your character interrogation process, Mark, where hypothetical character I came up with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering, when you do this with other writers, what's the most common reaction afterwards that they have after meeting their character?
Okay. If it's meeting the characters like we did with you, where the character comes from within you, as opposed to meeting the characters when they come out of actors, right? I'm going back to what we did with you. The reaction is usually surprised by what they learned that they didn't know. They're surprised by what the character says, or what the character does, or what the character believes in, or doesn't believe in. And a lot of that, of course, I have no idea what's going to come up, because I don't know the characters that well as the writer does, and I don't know how they perceive the character, and many times the writer will perceive the character in a very precious way. This is who she is, and this is what I want her to be, which is a very controlling way. So then what will happen during the interrogation is something will come out that is outside of that, or different from that perception that they have, or that creation that they have in their mind. That the character will start talking in a way, or behaving in a way, or responding in a way that they never would have allowed the character to do as the writer. But there's the character doing it. There's the character saying that. There's the character expressing those feelings, those ideas, and they're surprised.
So normally then it would be a group of actors or an actor as this character, Jill or Jack, these two characters,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe even the grandmother, who knows.
Yep.
And the writer would be watching you interrogate those people as those characters.
Well, yes. I mean, when we get into the Write Your Life with a writer, and we have a group of actors who are going to become their characters, it's a little more complicated process, because depending on who the writer is, simultaneously I have to, besides interrogating all the actors to become those characters, I'm simultaneously training the writer how to do this, how to the very beginning steps of interrogation process and how it can work. And then, even then, once I've interrogated the actors to be those characters, I will bring the writer in to start talking to the characters. It won't be just me, and to even get involved in the interrogation. Oh. So that's the part of the meeting. I can be interrogating an actress as Jill, the character we just did. And I could have the writer right next to me. I could have you right next to me if we were doing this and you're the writer, and I could just tap you like, go, talk to her. And keep up the interrogation. Just keep it going and explore. And you may have other questions you want to ask, and other things, points of view you want to express to her to see what's happening. So it's a process of not only just working with the actors, but bringing the writer into the process, and then eventually engaging them with all the characters.
And something that Elsha mentioned that, just for the sake of the camera, I guess we couldn't do, is that I'm sitting in Karen's seat, referring to myself in the third person. Yeah.
Yep.
So the lines between Jill and Karen are going to be sort of, they'd be, if I was standing up and outside of this seat, then it would be more that I'm Jill, I guess.
Yeah, you feel more of a separation. Right, exactly.
Interesting. Great. Do you find that writers become quite emotional because they've met their characters?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes sometimes emotional because they are responding to the characters, I guess, in a way that they hope that the audience will, that they're actually meeting them and realizing how vulnerable they are, or how scared they are, or how magnificent they are, and going, wow, this is really, I'm moved by the characters. And sometimes they'll become very emotional when something will happen between two of the characters that they hadn't imagined, but actually is working into the story that they want to tell. Let's say it's just between two characters who have never met before. and suddenly there's a connection, and one character says he feels that way about the other character, because they'll talk about how they feel in the interrogation, how they feel about each other and how they see each other. And sometimes the writer will hear, oh my God, I never imagined that that could happen, that there could be that connection between the two, and they'll become emotional because of that, because it's a richness of the characters and the character relationship that they hadn't really conceived of yet.
And then do you find, conversely, that they don't like their character and they don't have any empathy toward them? And they go, you know what? I need to go back to the drawing board. This isn't the character that I thought they were.
Yeah, and yeah, sometimes they're going, oh, okay, that character didn't turn out the way I had hoped. Then it would be going back to, okay, what were you looking for? Because we're basing it on what you told me or you told us. And maybe you need to alter something along those lines, and we could do it again. And quite honestly, we could do it again almost immediately. If they say, I want to approach this character in a different way, say, okay, let's do it. Talk about it, and the actor can be sitting there listening to it and say, okay, we're going to approach the character, or I'll go to another actor, so I'm going to do another actor for that character and start interrogating them and interrogate them into the character again, and we'll have a different version of the character.
Great. Man, I would love to, I mean, that just sounds so exciting, even though I'm not really invested in this character this hypothetical story, but just it sounds like really, really fascinating to see this thing that was in your imagination just like in front of you. Very powerful.
Good.